Nigerians in Ghana have publicly denied His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. Chukwudi Iheanetu Eze Ohazirume I Eze Ndi Igbo na Ghana. So with reference to the crisis in Ghana, especially the uproar on social media that Ghanaians were asking Nigerians to leave Ghana. You know, this special activist in Nigeria, VDM precisely, took it upon himself to travel to Ghana. He met with so many Nigerians, especially the traders in the market, including His Royal Majesty Eze Ndi Igbo na Ghana. Meanwhile, kudos to VDM precisely. I give you all the credit for taking it upon yourself to do what our journalists were expected to have done. I can't say precisely if Arise TV journalists have traveled to Ghana to, speak with our people one-on-one like VDM did in this video. So here, Nigerians denying Eze Ndi Igbo publicly in Ghana.
You don't know anti-that. You don't know. Well, you say you don't know your Igbo king. I don't know anti-that thing. You said you don't know Igbo king. You said you don't know Igbo king. Okay, when I hear the name, but I don't know. A lot of Igbos there here, and they say they don't recognize any king. Because if me now, I won't go meet him, I won't ask him one or two. Because himself, he gets his own thing when he won't talk. If he not be waiting to talk, then he get put out here. If he say him just talk once more, another person carry and go. So we need to also know what's in there.
No, it's the issue of that king, that we say the politicians.
Anyway, what a shocking feedback out there. It's a pity that majority of those traders that VDM interviewed, they are all Igbos. And for them to have denied their own Eze, it's something very much questionable. I will be talking about all of that in this very video. Meanwhile, I got a lot of negative feedback in the comment section over the video I made about Ghanaians and South Africans asking Nigerians and other African immigrants to leave their countries, especially in South Africa precisely, but in Ghana it was just Nigerians that they were being asked to leave Ghana. So I got a lot of criticism. Yes, it is your right to criticize my stance in that very video, even though I wasn't fully in support of my people, Nigerians, because in our country, tribalism is something that is very much common. But I felt to accept the fact that a lot of comments were pointing that every social deviance in Ghana is being perpetuated by just Nigerians alone, as if Ghanaians are all saints. That was something that got me pissed. But that notwithstanding, in this very video today, please remember to like my video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. So another comment that really brought about me going further to make this video today is the one that they claim that why don't Eze Ndi Igbo go back to his village in Nigeria to build a kingdom? Why doing that in Ghana? Is Eze Ndi Igbo still currently building this kingdom in Ghana? And how about the root cause of the crisis in Ghana? Where is all of this coming from? Now, from the interview that VDM carried out with the Eze Ndi Igbo, the man gave a detailed account of the genesis of this crisis in Ghana, though everywhere is currently calm a little bit, according to the feedback from even the traders and Eze Ndi Igbo in Ghana precisely. But then, in case you don't know the root cause of all of the crisis in Ghana, the protest Ghana against Nigeria, according to Eze Ndi Igbo, it was as a result of a trade war between the Ghanaians and Nigerians. In their trade law, there was a provision for foreigners to only supply goods to the locals, and then the locals will in turn do retailing, sell bit by bit to the consumers. Unfortunately, some Nigerians started going against the law because they were being treated unfairly by some Ghanaians that refused to pay them back the money for their goods after they have supplied them. And meanwhile, other nationalities were busy doing both supply and retailing. So when the trade union in Ghana realized that some Nigerians were going against this law of retailing and supply, that was when they locked up most of the Nigerians' shop in Ghana in 2013. Subsequently, the Eze Ndi Igbo, according to him, he was advised, him and some people in his cabinet were advised to take his people away from the local market, take them to a mall, since the law by the trade union does not prohibit people retailing in the mall, like a shopping mall, So this was when he and some of his men decided to buy some plot of land where they can at least build their own mall, have like a community, even build schools in time to come. They decided to approach the king of a particular village. He named that king and the village. I've forgotten the name of that village. They said in attempt to do that, they built a school in that community. The king offered to give them 200 acres of land, but they said no, that was too much. They asked for 50, And then, as time goes on, they went back again. On the day they went to pay for that 50 acres of land, the king said no, that they cannot pay for that land, claiming that the land has this litigation, that there's no way they could be allowed to pay for a land that has litigation on it. So that was the end of that. And besides, the expression that he wanted to build like an Igbo kingdom never happened. It was something he said during his coronation in 2014 when he contested for an election and he won the position he's currently occupying as Eze Ndi Igbo won Ohazurume in Ghana. So he said all of that he would like to build an Igbo community as an Igbo village and not a kingdom. A kingdom is different from a community. Besides, His Royal Majesty Eze Chukwudi Ohazurume I of Ghana is married to a Ghanaian lady. In the last 28 years, his marriage is blessed with 5 children. And trust Igbo men, just like here, I am living in the UK. Tomorrow, I will be traveling 6 hours away to my former place. I just moved to South Central last month. I will be going down for the New Yam Festival of Ndi Igbo in Middlesbrough, where I am currently one of the escorts, although I have tendered my resignation letter. And here, coming here, I've already identified with the Igbos. Yes, on the 28th, we'll be having our meeting where they will be teaching our children Igbo language. Then, Eze Ndi Igbo went on to state that before he ever got his mansion where he's currently living, because VDM asked him certain questions, that his house is a bit terrifying in a way. It could cause something like make people of that community envious of him because of the decoration, the golden colors of the lions and all of that in this very video. Meanwhile, our Eze defended himself by saying that all of those decorative stuff he put in his house are very much available in the market. Anybody can as well walk into the market and buy all of that. Besides, he built that his mansion ever before he assumed the leadership of Eze Ndi Igbo Ohazurume I of Ghana. He had already made money, built that mansion before this his leadership. Moreover, let me emphasize this. He stated that at the point when they were denied the land because of that litigation, the dreams of building an Igbo village in Ghana died, because that was only a dream and also political agenda. You know, politicians during their campaign, they make a lot of promises. When if you elect me, or if I won this election, I'm gonna do this, do that, do that. But that notwithstanding, he stated, as an Igbo man living in a foreign country, a place far from home, married to a foreigner, already has his children. In this video, he shared the importance of the Igbo culture, bringing it alive to their children in Ghana. Again, VDM asked another important question. He asked him if it was just the Igbos that has a king in Ghana. Hear him out.
The only king of a particular ethnic group or a tribe, yeah. Do they have a Yoruba king, the Hausa king? Do they have those type of things? Or you are the one that is here in Ghana?
We have Yoruba king, the Yoruba people, the Oba of Yoruba. They established their Oba here since 1909.
In Ghana?
Yes. There is Oba of Yoruba. Now, Oba is a very great man.
You are friends with him?
Oh, yes, we are brothers. The Hausans also have their king here, they have the Sariki here.
Wow.
The Niger people, the Zambarans, Niger, they have their thing. But you know, like I said, this is our local language. The Hausans, they call themselves Sariki. The Yoruba, they call themselves Oba. So the Igbos is called Eze Ndi Igbo. So Ivorians, they have their own here. The Mosul people, they have their own. I think Mosul or wherever, yeah. Even the Senegalese, the Nigerians, they have their own. Even Israel people have their rabbis here. I mean, the Indians have their temple here and all that. And the list, let me take one more thing here. That's one thing that some of our Nigerians back home did not understand. Ghana is a country where they respect human being. Their constitution is so powerful that every corner of life is included. In Ghana, their constitution approves diaspora community leaders called chief. Wow. So as I'm sitting down here, it's not an illegal thing. The constitution of Ghana approves me.
So from his response, it is clear that it is not only Igbo that has their community in Ghana. Other people have their chief, the Hausas, the Shariki, the Yorubas, the Oba. I'm sure the Indians and Chinese people also have their own kings and communities in Ghana as well. When you watch the responses by the traders, what they said, and the feedback from the Eze Ndi Igbo, you can understand that there is political undertone to what is happening in Ghana. Meanwhile, one important thing is that a lot of them are texted that there is peaceful coexistence in Ghana. Traders are no longer being asked to leave. You know, if you watch the man in the shop, they also claim or said, yeah, the evidence was there in the video, that they also employ Ghanaians to work for them. In that particular shop, there was a Ghanaian lady working for a Nigerian, the man that is selling motor parts or something like that. A Ghanaian lady. I learned what they call a woman in Ghana from that video. Hey, I've forgotten. Mama Mia be mama something. They call that lady and she smiled. You know, so they are working together, and we are happy that we are no longer seeing such things on social media. You know, social media sometimes blows something out of proportion. Yes, from those who are on ground, they reported that there is a peaceful atmosphere in Ghana right now. Traders are doing their businesses, doing their things. Intermarriage relationship is something very common. If you watch the video, VDM also asked the people, you know, whether Ghanaians know they do a shower. They say that them do pass, you know. That was very laughable, you know, joke apart. But we are happy that things are going well. Now, coming to the public denial of His Royal Majesty Eze Chukwudi Ohazurume I of Ghana. of Ndi Igbo na Ghana. You know, it wasn't something really nice. Yes, when you saw the intro of my video, we're traders. People, they denied this Eze, and they were not really outrightly denying him, because from every indication you could sense that there was something political. They even confessed to that. They know that Eze Ndi Igbo exists in Ghana, but there is something I could say, faction, division, yes, among some other subheads in Ghana, just like the Eze pointed out when he contested election in 2013 or thereabout. You could hear him talk for himself.
It's your question. Yes. See, some people told you they don't have a king. Yes. That's why I told you everybody must not like him. I was not the only one that came out of the throne. I came first. And another Igbo elder also came to drag the throne with me. After 2 years I've existed, the Igbo community now said, you know what? We don't want to continue having issues. Say, Igwe, we would conduct election between myself and the other man. 2014, after 2 years of existence, some of our followers self-used. I said, no, I'm a man of peace. Let's have the election. If he wins me, then he comes. Alhamdulillah. If I win him, no problem. After 2 years, I agreed. 2014, we had the election, and I won the election. 97% vote. So you know what I did? Immediately I win the election. This, my brother, my friend, with some group of other Igbo, my group of them, they pulled out of Igbo community and established a parallel Igbo community. Oh, this is where the problem came from. Okay. After Igbo community has been existing for over 30 years in Ghana, as the established community, but the Igbos have been here for centuries. I'm just talking about as an association. Now, these people went and create another Igbo community that become a parallel line. So, those telling you they don't have Igbo as the ones on the other side, the ones on the other side, few of them, they are not much, few of them. And these artificial problem you see that came up is also sponsored by our Igbo people. If you look at my interview during this crisis, I said, I'm not blaming our host nation, Ghanaians, but I blame our own people. It is the rat in your house who go out there to tell the rat outside there's fish. Yes, inside the house. Yes, I agree. So, it's our own people.
Permit me to switch to my language. Ndibai, owai, nebu nwani, Igbo, nebu onwe ha na mba. Ahama m ihe nje tụgharịa na asụ Igbo na ihe m ji akọwa ihe a n'Igbo. Unu hụla ihe a na-eme na Ghana. From every indication, interview emere ndị baya na nke emere Eze, unu ahụla na ọwụ tribal ọgụ. Ha na-agbu onwe ha mgbe okpuru. Kwa kenne mụ, unu hụrụ ihe Eze anyị kọwara ma ọ bụ na ilele ebe emere ya interview n'asụsụ Bekee. Ewinizie ka o winere election, ndị nke ọzọ ekewapụ bido na-awụ ya were ọdụ ogologo ka ọwụ gịnị na-awụ ka akwatuo ya. Kama ha ga-apịakọta isi ọnụ wee bụrụ otu ebe ha hụrụ onwe ha n'ụzọ ije. Ha na-adụ onwe ha ndọkọrịndọ. Ị hụrụ ya ndị traders, no politics. Ha ma onye ọ bụ, ma no politics. Enwere ike ihe na-ese ihe a bụrụ ono ọ bụ onye Anambra. Awụkwa ha bụ onye Anambra o. Ono ọ bụ onye Anambra. O nwere ike onye na ya zọrọ election ahụ abụrụ onye Imo steeti ma ọ bụ ọ bụrụ onye Enugu steeti. Ndị Enugu asị na nwanne ha ga-achịrịrị. Onye na-ese ndị Anambra sị na ọha nwa ga-achịrịrị. Ndị ka sị na ọwaanyị onye Anambra ga-eji na-achị anyị na Ghana. Ihe m ji agwụọ na ihe a eso m na ndị ọchịchị n'obodo oyibo a m bịara mgbe Peter Obi na-eme kampen ya kema mgbe ọ na-ewe abịara m obodo a bịa belong na Nigerian group in general. A na-akpọ ka ndị akpọ n'afa ebe mbụ m biburu ewee ruo ebe ahụ ndị Naijiria wee na-eme anyị akaja. Enweghị ụdị akaja ha, enweghị ụdị ọnụ ha akọfọghọ ndị Igbo. Anya mmiri a na-agba m n'anya. Ma enwere otu nwoke onye be anyị ha kọgidere ọnụ na the group, kọgide ya. Ihe m mere m aga na private chat gakwuru nwoke ahụ sị ya, biko, ọ pụtara na ndị Igbo nọ na diso na dinarị enwere ike ịhakọta onwe ha ọnụ nwee grupu nke ha iche. Nwoke sị m, ọ dịkwa possible. Ịma n'otu abalị ahụ ka mụ na ya tụkọrọ isi ọnụ. The next day, afọmụ Igbos na ngalaba UK ahụ. Ugbu a ị gaa na WhatsApp grupu anyị na-achọ iru 1000 ndị Igbo. Grupu a na-agwa gị orubeghị afọ na-abụ n'izu ụka ka ha ga-eme eriniji ji ha again nke ugboro na-abụ. Izizi ka ha mere n'afọ mbụ gara aga. The second one ka ha ga-eme this year. Mana ọgba aghara dị na grupu ahụ, ọgba aghara ndị Igbo tinyego n'isi ha. A na-azọ position, a na-azọ. Ike agwụla m. Na-ajụ kedu ihe ọwụ. Ndị na-azọ nzọkere nzọ awụ ndị nọgoro obodo agba gbanyegoro mgbọrọgwụ. Amaghị m ihe a na-azọ. Mgbe ọ bụ na okwu na ụka ememe mitin ndị kwe na ndị ekwe hụ n'ala bekee. Ndị Igbo akpọkọtara ọnụ erubeghị afọ na-abụọ. Ya erubeghị afọ na Krismas ka anyị ga-eme afọ na-awụ. Yes, Krismas anyị ga-eme afọ na-awụ. Ma alụbago mgbe a na-agba achọ imechi afọ ma ime mmemme anyị ga-eme. Ofu mmechi afọ ka anyị mechigoro, point of correction. Ofu nke bụ ka anyị ga-eme n'afọ ọhụrụ. Nwere ike adị mmadụ 6 na isko, mmadụ 3 ga-eme ihe niile. Ndị ọzọ niile a na-ekike against. A na-ekwu okwu dị agha, okwu na-egosi that yes, anyị dị against ndị ka. Ọ dịka enwere onye a na-akwụ ụgwọ. Ọ bụ ihe a na-ese na Ghana. Enweghị ihe ọzọ. Ịhụrụ ya? Na vidio asị m n'ọwụ ndị Nigeria publicly denied Eze Ndị Igbo. Mana ọwụ ndị Igbo na uhuruchi na-abụ gọnarịrị nwanne ha n'ahịa. Mana ị ga-interview Eze, ị ga-ahụ na ọsọkwa n'ọkwa ndị a na-alụrụ ka ọ dịrị ha na mma, ndị a na-agbara mbọ. Mgbe ahụ ọ na-ekwu okwu ka arụọ Igbo village, Igbo mall, ọkwa maka ụmụnne ya ahụ. Ọsọ nsọ ya ga na-azụ ahịa na ya bụ mall. Ọkwa maka ụmụnna ya ndị Igbo ahụ ka ọ na-agbara okirikiri a niile ka enweta azọta ọnọdụ ha, ka ha nwee ike na-eme biznes ha n'udo. Enwere ọtụtụ ihe dị iche iche ọ kọwapụtara na interview ahụ. Gaa na vidio VDM na YouTube ka ị ga-eruo ya n'isi. Ndị Igbo mere na onwe na ebere. Ọ gịnị na-eme? Ọchịchị mara m kemgbe m ji wee tobe, bido na nwata m rukwa ugbu a. Ọchịchị mara m. Ebidoro m na nwata kụzie katikizim mgbe m nọ na years, bụrụ isi. Gaa n'ụlọ akwụkwọ secondary school, awụ m senior prefect. Azọ dị ya azọ, ọ na opposed, eburu ya nye m. Ndị niile zọrọ ya ho. Maala university. Short before ngaba university ka m kọzie ruo na ihe butere m ji make references a. Ebe m na-arụ n'ụlọ chọọchị ka m chọrọ ịpụ ịlashi school. Catechism asị ọ pụtara na enweghị onye Imo steeti m ga-akpọta ka ọ nochie my position. Why ọ ga-eji bụrụ onye Anambra na chọọchị? Ndị Igbo gịnị na-eme anyị? Ma ala akọrọ nne m ihe akpata oyi ezuo anyị ahụ. Onye Anambra na-achị, onye Imo steeti na-achị. What is the difference? Ọkwa Igbo ka anyị ụnọ na-azọ Biafra. Ụnọ na-azọ Biafra. Ndị Igbo mere na onwe unu ebere ihere unu na-eme at times. Gịnị ka a na-azọ? Gịnị ka a na-azọ? Ka ọwụ mgbe m nwe sekretary na chọọchị one communication committee. Ofu one guy bụ the major secretary maka o bilonguru na ọchịchị niile ya nwa nwe ya, one boy. And ihe na-akpọ the guy wụ CGWO. Ọ bịara ndị nne ya wụ isi ebe ọ ya alụbeghị ọnwụ nwaanyị. Abịa na ndị nna ụlọ ya. Abịa na ihe anyị amarụ ka ọwụ fada ka ọwụ brother ka ọwụ gịnị. Ya nwa bụ secretary. Ọ da-abịaba. Then I started working as the acting secretary. More than take minutes and everything. They decided to say, okay, they will give me that post. Ebo na this guy, mgbe niile ọ na-adị busy. Agbagharị na group niile nọ na church. Ịma na church, ịma ka church dị na east. Church is the major thing in the East in Erigani. Okatacha kam toro. This guy was over his dead body. Kayaga hapo that position. Mwa bro secretary. No she can ne amara bishop ogina wale bishop ogina wale mbaho na newe. Na kesa. Nsi abiko muna gada zo kesa. Kwi horo chiche. Hana mala kwa sikule. Adezi hapo na one chamna abia maka parents. Ochichi. I went back to school. I became an assistant secretary in a school. The vice president in my school, not church, dealt with us. She's not a reverend sister. I don't know how she is a reverend sister in that her convent. She dealt with us because of power. Onyibo. She was fighting, militating against us. She was physically the principality militating against. 1 year post. 1 year, gawara. And you'll be remembered for what you have done in that 1 year. That is what people will be making references to. This guy Zokatara. There was a day, we were passing the staircase. I greeted her. Mommy, our vice president. Mommy, NFCS. If you were a Catholic in your university days, I greeted her. She did not respond. We went to morning mass. She received communion. That was the day a priest slapped her in the church because of her acrimony. Her own wizardry was physical. Who will live in this life forever? Onye bikari obi 120 years. If a jechete mwado bolo everywhere. A group I've rendered my resignation letter. Kamaro mi fe kugol. Makebiro zimeba. Otegon chore pa samu chelo ke emesia awa iriji mgbe na-enwe ndidi. Mana ihe ndị a na-eme na group a na-anụ m afọ abụrụ m onye okwu na ụka. Kedu ife eji ọchịchị eme? Geenụ ntị. Amara m ka ebo eziokwu ka ọ basị. Ụnọ fụrụ. Owe enwere fọbụ. Ụnọ fụrụ President Donald Trump. Enwere documentary nlele yesterday. Ọ bụrụ asịrị ya sofa. Ụnọ ma na ọ bụ stoma bag na-akpagharị. Stoma bag. Muford on Fionesi, Muford stoma bag. A hold #1 president of US. Or what I don't know where you go, you do stop or here. Then will if I carry mother no wa. Here jet a mother born. Or brief any in a go na power. Na sota. It is the legacy you leave behind. Nibo, Chearian, Umunu Nesimusi at times. You know Nazokama Maro. Ochichibunya Chicholito. Iche carry na position ahụ in not 2 years or 3 years. Mana nke Eze Ndi Igbo hazuru me na Ghana. Amarom how long. Amarom ka na achicha ya achicha ka ọ na-ada achicha. You know, it is quite a pity seeing that video. Ndi Igbo si na ha amaro Eze Ndi Igbo. Mana ha makwa denying him on camera. Mana ha mụ ya. Kama na ha kara ha chọrọ ikwu the reason. Aka iri jine ị ga-afụ ndị niile asị na ha mara Eze Ndi Igbo ha ncha niile ga na ebe anwa yiri efe isi agụ na-aṅụrụ na ya ekori mere n'iru gwọ mpete n'azụ udupụte m okpere azụ ọ ife most of us bụ ọ jọkwara njọ ma shigbuo nkakwe na uche enwere onye ji ndụ ya n'aka echi eteka the next ebe a ntụkwu ebe a na plan nwere ike ide ebe a na-akwụgbuo ma anwụọla m ihe a ga-eji cheta mbụ the good things I've done ndị be anyị kedu ihe anyị na-azụ na agaghị esi nwe Biafra una ka anyị esi wee nwee Biafra wee chụọ onwe anyị onye Ebonyi steeti alaikoro onye Anambra ndị Anambra alaikoro ndị Imo nwa Imo si ebe apụọ nwaanyị Anambra si ebe apụọ ndị nke Abakaliki bụ ịbịanụ na Ọnịcha si nwa Aba enwere ife ọnwa ndị Nsụka ahụhụhụ gịnị bụ ihe a na-anụfe anụ nke nwa amụ Igbos ihe unu na-eme m at times ihe unu na-eme m publicly denied Eze ọ bụrụ na unu amụrụ ya unu nwe ya na Ghana ọ bụrụ sọnsọ na Ghana ka ụdị ife a na-eme ndị Igbo chegharịanụ biko unu ka kpụdebe anyị afọ ọjọọ a na-akpọ akwụkwọ unu fụ ka nsi wee tugbuo unu wee hapụ ịsụ sọpụrị wee na-ekwu ife o wute kamụ enwere ihe anyị na-azọ n'elu ụwa 6 feet ka onye ọbụla ya eketa enwere ebe eji pawa tozụlụ aga ndọkịrị ndọ enwere ebe eji ya aga ka m bụrụ prezidenti echiche anyị marito sọọlụ elu ka anyị eji chekea gị nsọọlụ elu It is quite a pity that this is happening. Ekwuchakwana m kọrọ m n'ọnụ. Daalụkwanụ. Ka ọ dịkwanụ biko like ya video ma. Share ma ọ bụ na ị ga-share. O kwerekwana gị ịma hapụ ya. Mana ndị Igbo wepụ na aka enwe n'ofe tupu ọwa aka mmadụ. Daalụkwanụ.